Hi, YouTube. Filming a video, doing kind of like a house cleaning right now, and Tanya and David are doing the carpets, so I'm out here babysitting the puppies. Not really, they're babysitting me. Anyways, I'm super dirty, yuck. I went and picked up Jeep parts and stuff today. And, you know, I wanted to talk a little bit about spirituality for a second. And, you know, I started this journey at the beginning of the year just in search of my spirituality. And what I felt was for Gina. And we have a bunch of photonic light coming in the planet under like gamma rays and stuff like that, they'll call them. And it's just photonic energy. And my belief is we're getting back to the center of our galaxy, an Alcyon, which is our central sun. And that God consciousness, source consciousness, again, I look at it like a tube, a bank teller, and it's just a tube filled with a blue, purple, pink light, liquid light, just like light water traveling up and down this tube. And when we get close enough to it, every 26,000 years or every 13,000 years, we come across the photon belt. But I believe that we're the closest to Alcyon every 26,000 years. They call it the precession of the equinox. And you can watch it. First it's up. They call it the light, and then the dark years, and light, and then the dark years. So obviously we've been in the dark years, medieval times, and my gosh, all the killings since the beginning of time that we know of in biblical era. This is nothing. This is nothing new under the sun. We have been here before, people. We are raising our consciousness as a planet. And as a species, every species on this planet is going to raise consciousness along with the planet. Let's just talk about the Schumann resonance. The Schumann resonance is found in 1952. It's the heartbeat of the planet. So it's resonated between 7 and 8, or 7.5 and 8.5. We're just going to say 8 for good measure. It's resonated, or beat, at 8 megahertz, or per second, whatever, since 1952. In the year 2014, it started changing. Little by little, it went up to 15, 20, I remember it going up to 30, and it was taking leaps after that, leaps and bounds. It was at 90 in, I want to say, the March full moon, February, March full moon, it hit 90. And then about a month and a half ago, it hit 120. So as the heartbeat of the planet speeds up, our heartbeats are going to speed up. Our consciousness is going to speed up. Our vibrations are going to speed up. They're going to raise. They're going to heighten. It's like in the book of Revelations, everything is going to be revealed. And along with that, the chaos is breaking down. And the chaos had to get worse before it get better. The sex trafficking is coming to a stop. You know, the powers that be, the Illuminati, the Cabal, the dark forces, I don't really give a crap what you call them. You can call them whatever the hell you want. It doesn't matter to me. The assholes that were running this planet for the last, well, hundreds of years, thousands of years, who knows how long they've been in control. But their shit is breaking down. It's stopping. It is falling apart. And as it falls apart, like an onion, all the layers are going to be shed. Then, like a butterfly, as the cocoon comes off, you know, it goes from its worm stage, that's ugly, horrific stage, right? Which I don't think it's ugly, but whatever, that's what people say, into this beautiful butterfly. So, and that's what's happening with our consciousness and with what's going on the planet. We've been under a thumb for, gosh, my whole life. This whole pharmaceutical shit has got to stop. We've got to stop manufacturing synthetic shit. We need to stop eating synthetic shit. And the more you get the synthetic shit out of your body, the faster and easier your consciousness is going to elevate. So I kept thinking this whole journey that if people weren't my Gina's interpretation of spiritual, they weren't spiritual. And I realized after being here in Aurora and back in the land of the living, I'm making a video, David. Thank you, Tanya. And back in the land of the living, that spirituality comes in all shapes, sizes, and forms, just like people's. Okay, my friend Tanya here. Say hi, Tanya here. Hi, Tanya here. She is in more of the political sense of the awakening, but nonetheless, it's still a spiritual awakening. Her husband understands all about the sex trafficking and how it's coming to a head, and these people are being busted. They're going to prison. They're being caught for their heinous acts against our society. It doesn't matter if it's men or females. It does not matter. You know, it's been both sexes. Not maybe more females, but men are not out of that equation at all, sadly. So it's been really horrific. Some of the people that are really in the spiritual forefront were sex trafficking slaves, and they were 18 years spent as a sex slave, and their stories are horrific, and how they broke through to this spirituality is amazing, that they had to go inside and disappear, and when they did, they connected with their spirit guides, their team, their angels, the archangels, God source, conscious source. You can call it whatever you want. Their consciousness went somewhere else, and it met with their team, their guides, their angels, their loved ones, whoever, and kept them going because it had a greater purpose. Their higher self had a greater purpose for being here, and maybe it was to bring it to light. So as all the chaos is breaking down, all this beauty is going to start blossoming. And I've learned in my journey that to have detachment, to not be attached to anything, including our thoughts. So my thought was, spirituality comes in this package. Like, if you're not in this box, right, you don't fit my idea of spirituality. Bullshit. I, first of all, need to detach from that thought, or what I expect the outcome to be from another person. I can't expect anybody else to act anyway. They're not me. This is my reality. This is all I get, is me. So when I noticed Tanya's passion about bringing this to light, politically, is her way of contributing towards the spiritual ascension. Ryan Wiggins, isn't that his last name? I love his post, the little funny guy on Facebook. So he just posted something about, if you want something, you have to let your belief be more than your fear. That's a spiritual awakening. That is being spiritually awake and understanding that if you don't believe in the positive of it and the good of it, and all you believe is in the negative and the fear, then your outcome is going to be negative and fear. That's just the bottom line. You aren't a co-creator of your reality. You are the creator of your reality. And allowing other people to co-create with you is awesome. Okay, then you're co-creating together when you have another human involved, but you're still the creator of your own reality. Period. I'll kind of just give everybody a brief synopsis of what's happened to me just in the last few days. I made $1,000 very easily in a short time because fate put it in my way. I would have been like, there's no way that would ever even happen. And it did, and I was sitting there scratching my head going, how the hell did that happen? Like, I couldn't have orchestrated that better. And then yesterday, as I was cutting someone's hair in their home, their wife just happened to be a home health care nurse. I go do haircuts in people's homes. These are people that can't get out of their homes, and they need people to come do haircuts for them. Tanya is an interior designer, and she just got her first gig doing someone's whole house. They literally gutted it, so she gets full reign on everything. I told them my friend was an interior designer. They're like, go get her now. So I did. I came home, and I brought Tanya and David over there. They live like 2 blocks away that way, maybe 3. I mean, within a half a mile. And then the other thing I can't talk about because it's going to result in, well, hopefully the problem will be fixed. And so if you would have told me that all that would have happened in one haircut, I'd have been like, there's no way, you can't orchestrate something that cleverly. But yet there it was. And I'll back up even more and it should have been, and now I realize why it was put in my reality. And that is, I knew it then, and I said it, but then I kept questioning my belief. And don't ever question yourself. If you feel strongly about something in the beginning, don't waver your belief, because 9 times out of 10, I would probably say that first strong gut feeling is the right one. That's you. That's your higher self telling you, pay attention, pay attention. I'm talking to you. So I'm going to tell you all this story because I haven't told it yet, and then I will get off the video. So this is a pretty intense story to me because it happened, you know, in my reality. My ex in St. Louis of 18 years, almost 20 years, I am still very much in love with. Well, I still very much love. I'm not in love with him, excuse me. And I'll probably always love him. I spent almost 20 years with him and raised my children with him and our grandchildren. And we were very connected for a long time. And it was hard for me to leave. It was. And I still cry today sometimes over that loss, you know. I haven't been out here dating, clubbing. I've had fun. I hang out with my friends. I was on the wolf farms hanging out there doing bonfires and cooking and hiking. And we're going shortly in a couple of weeks down to go hiking in the San Luis Valley. And so we're super excited about that. There's camping and hiking up in the mountains. And so, yeah, we're going to go start seeing parts of Colorado now. It's summer. My Jeep will be together by then, so I can drive it down there. Plus, I left some stuff down there, so I'm just going to grab it while I'm there so I don't have to make another trip. But anyways, back to where I was, because I only got 3 minutes to tell you this story. So I left my ex, and I went to Galveston for 2 months. And the very first girl I meet there, where my RV was parked, I went outside, and I was talking to the girls next door. And she asked me, oh, you know, where'd you come from? Because I was in an RV. And I'm like, St. Louis. And she goes, oh my God, that's where I'm trying to go. So this is the first girl I meet in Texas. I'm on a very secluded island with one store on it, one little convenience store. That's it. It's not a tourist island. It's not like Galveston. It's this tiny little Surfside, okay? So right before I left, and it's really what made my mind up to leave probably, was she was telling me about these people in Troy, Missouri, that she was trying to get to, and how the sister was sick, and da-da-da-da. Well, I was telling her how my aunt was in the hospital sick, and da-da-da-da-da. And we're talking for 2 months, and neither one of us were really listening to each other. So another lesson learned, listen when people talk. We were sitting one night talking, and I wasn't listening, like I said, and she was talking about her in the hospital. I said, is this his wife? And she goes, no, it's his sister. And she's like, he and I really get along. He did time, and da-da-da-da-da. She did time. And I said, oh, yeah, just making conversation. What did you do time for? Grand Theft Auto. And then she starts telling me about the things he did. And I said, his sister's dying in the hospital. He was in prison his whole life for stealing cars. Is his name Dennis? She said, yes. I said, is his sister named Barb? She said, yes. I said, did they live at da-da-da-da-da-da-da? Well, she was in prison a long time, so she got out her little physical book and looked at it, and she goes, yes, that's their address. But the sister lives at, and I said, da-da-da-da-da. It was my ex's mom, aunt, and uncle that she had been writing, and I called it Before Gina, because she had been writing that family. She even wrote my mother-in-law and my ex's grandfather, who I never even got to meet. So she actually wrote to him when he was alive. So I really freaked out that she was, how the hell this one person in a remote island of Texas got smacked, literally dropped out of the sky and thrown into my reality, was attached to the man I had just walked away from, a relationship. So at first I was like, what? No, I'm not supposed to be going back to St. Louis. So I think what the universe was trying to explain to me, just like last night, was anything's possible. And you can sit here and say, no, it's not. But I promise you, anything is possible. I could wake up tomorrow and have won the lottery and go out and buy my 4-door JKU that I want. Who knows? It could happen, right? So if I was playing odds would have been in a better favor for me to have won the lottery than that girl to have wound up in my reality. So don't ever discord anything. With that, I leave you. Love and light. Peace and love. Love and light. Catch you on the flip side.